Assalamu alaikum and good evening. For Integrated Vector Management, Assignment 1, Vector Control Infographic, we have prepared our presentation for the storyline. For our storyline, we chose rat as a vector. What is rat? Rat, or other name, is genus Rattus. The term generally and indiscriminately applied to numerous members of several rodent families, having bodies larger than about 12 centimeters or 5 inches. For our storyline, it will be told in the form of an internal monologue of a rat that is telling about itself. In the storyline, it will include the species of the rat, life cycle, the habitat, the infestation, the disease, the symptom, and how to control it. For the species of rat, in the storyline, the rat will be doing an internal monologue or be doing storytelling, telling about its species. For example, Rodentia is my family, Rodentia is my friend, for instance, and there should be an elaboration about it. For instance, Rodentia are species of rats are found throughout the order of Rodentia, but stereotypical rats are found in the genus Rattus. Other rat genera include Neotoma, Bendicota, and Dipodomys. Rats are typically distinguished by mice by their size. So, for the next species, in the storyline, the rat will be doing a storyline mentioning about how Neotoma is related to them. So, for elaboration, Neotoma, or more known as a pack rat, are any species in the North and Central American rodent genus Neotoma. Pack rats have a rat-like appearance with long tails, large ears, and large black eyes. Pack rats are noticeably larger than deer mice, harvest mice, and grasshopper mice, and are usually somewhat larger than a cotton rat. And for the last species, Bendicota. Bendicota is a genus of rodents from Asia known as bandicoot rats. The common name and genus name are derived from the Telugu language word Pendikoku. DNA studies have found the group to be a monophyletic clade sister to a radiation of Molucca and Australian Rattus species as part of paraphyletic Rattus sensuloto.
Now, for the second storyline, basically the main character itself, that is the mouse, going to explain on its life cycle. Briefly, it will talk about the average lifespan. The dialogue that the mouse going to say is, average lifespan of a mouse is typically 1 year. However, some could live until 3 years. It varies depending on its habitat, food sources, and more factors. The short period of time in between every cycle causes mouse to breed and infest quickly in one place. Next, in the same storyline, the mouse will show the picture of a mouse life cycle. Some extra explanation are already added to the picture. The mouse will act like it want to present the picture to the audience. It's gonna say something like, "Let me show you this picture of our life cycle so you can understand it better."
The next storyline is the habitat of a rat. In this section, we will discover about the capability of a rat to find and create a home as their habitat. Rats also thrive in most environments where food and shelters are available. In this storyline also, the main characters will show his habitats that mainly split into two types. The first one is terrestrial, which are most commonly burrows. They build their nests in various clumps of vegetation. The next one is elevated area inside a building or commonly human home. They usually can be found on roofs or rafters.
So in this part, the rat will tell us about how to detect the presence of them in our house. There are 7 ways to identify whether there are any rats in our home, which are rats dropping, bite marks, rub marks, scratching noise, burrows, rat nest, and rat's footprint.
The next part, which is also going to be narrated by the rats, is the diseases carried by them. So the rats are going to tell us some of the examples of diseases they carry, which is the first one is leptospirosis. So leptospirosis is a bacterial infection from Leptospira species of bacteria, which in most of the cases are spread through the urine of infected rats and rodents. So humans can be infected through contact with the urine or surfaces that were exposed with the bacteria, including in water. Leptospirosis is most commonly found in tropical and subtropical areas, but it can occur anywhere in the world where rats and rodents exist. So leptospirosis can be treated with antibiotics if caught early, but if not, it can lead to liver failure, kidney damage, and even death. The other example of disease carried by rats is hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS, which is a rare but serious respiratory illness that can lead to fatal. So hantavirus is transmitted to humans through contact with the urine, feces, or saliva of infected rodents. Or it can also be transmitted by inhalation of airborne particles from rodent droppings, urine, or carcasses that have been disturbed. So the most common transmitters of hantavirus are deer mice, cotton rats, rice rats, and white-footed mice. And lastly, hantavirus is a potentially life-threatening disease that currently has no specific treatment, cure, or vaccine.
This section is about symptoms of disease transmit. Rats can transmit disease through direct contact or indirect, such as their urine, feces, or saliva. Some of the common symptoms are fever, headache, diarrhea, and many more.
Okay, in this slide, the rats itself will explain on how to do a control measure of rats. Okay, the most basic way to avoid interaction with rats is to remove food supplies, water, and anything that offer rodents with shelter. Control rodents as needed by employing an integrated pest management strategy that includes environmental cleaning, adequate food storage, rodent proofing, trapping, and poisoning. Rats love to live in these two places. The first one is inside the home and the other one is outside the home. For the inside the home, make sure to always cover and store food and water in the rodent-proof container. Garbage should be disposed of on a regular and consistent basis. Next is always clean up any spilled food and remove any leftover food from the kitchen and dining areas, and keep empty cans and other unsealed containers containing food residues out of the house. Okay, for the outside the home, make sure to remove as much garbage and rubbish as possible. Next is green and animal feed should be stored in rodent-proof containers, and remove debris, abandoned vehicles, discarded tires, and other objects that might serve as rodent nesting places. Last but not least is cut or eliminate brush and thick foliage that may provide rats with cover and safety.